What's going on, everyone? It is Garrett, and welcome to the first Designer podcast. Now, this is going to be a podcast specifically for designing and artists and designer tips only. This is not going to be my personal life and other people's personal lives. It's going to be strictly for designers to learn and basically expand their knowledge and stuff like that. Now, if you guys are on the go, you guys can download the podcast on Spotify and on Soundcloud down in the description below. And if you guys have any questions or comments, you guys enjoy the series, let me know in the comment section below as well. Now, I do want to say there's going to be no cuts. This is going to be straight audio. So if you guys want to just plug this onto your TV, your phone, your Apple, iPad, whatever it is, basically do that and start working on something else. You guys can just hear my voice in the background. You don't need to be distracted by a screen and stuff like that. So the first whole entire topic we're going to be talking about in the first Designer podcast is going to be getting your first client. Now, this is huge. This is definitely the biggest topic I can talk about right now as a graphic designer, especially for the lower tier people that are very, getting into graphic design and they want to start making money. Getting your first client is so key on becoming better and becoming more self-aware of what can happen to you. Now, I personally think clients are top 3 most important thing as a graphic designer, whether it be how you treat them, how you talk to them, giving them a payment schedule, insurance, how to get them, networking. The list can basically go on. We're going to be talking about everything that I can give you guys to help you guys get more clients and how to get your first client. But you guys really need to take it up to yourself to listen to this and basically put your own 2 cents in and then form your own opinion on everything like that. Do not listen strictly to me because there's definitely better ways to do this. However, I think this is exactly how I did it and it works best for me, especially right now as a an 18-year-old graphic designer. Now, clients are super important for any designer or any artist. Now, the reason behind that is because you're getting compensated for your work, and then you get that pride that someone is paying to use your own, materials and use your own, art. Now, I can give you guys an example of pride in graphic design, especially is I was commissioned to do a logo for a tree service company out near me. Now, a few weeks ago, actually, my dad called me and he was like, I was driving down the New York State Thruway, I saw the logo, it looked really cool in the trucks and stuff like that. Now, that's a lot of pride. Now, sometimes you're not going to get that kind of client. Now, you're going to get those Twitter headers, you're going to get those Facebook covers, but still, you have to think about it in a big aspect that someone is paying you to do something for them. And I just think that's a really cool thing to think about. Now, the last thing I do want to talk about is feeling like you're earning something as an artist. Now, I know a lot of people that do, advertisements and headers and free things for people, and it gets boring very, very quickly, especially for people that work for those Call of Duty clans that don't pay people. They do these form work, and they just basically slave over these artists over and over again, and they don't get any compensation, they don't get anything. So definitely getting paid is a huge thing to kind of feel better about yourself. So, with that being said, we're going to be talking about a few topics down in this video. It's going to be taking a while, so like I said, guys, just make sure to lay back and enjoy the video, enjoy the audio. Now, the first thing I do want to talk about, which is probably the most important in my eyes, is how are you showcasing your work and how are you getting clients and networking yourself. Now, networking is basically like putting yourself out online on the network and then being active and stuff like that. I'll be talking about activeness in a little bit. But how are you showcasing your work? Now, if you're only posting it on Twitter, that's the only way you guys are going to be getting clients. Now, if you think about it in a bigger range, if you post on, let's say, Behance, on Dribbble, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, that's basically 7 different ways that a client can contact you right there. Now, that doesn't leave Carbon Made, a bunch of other different websites that clients can find you on. And you can also post on like websites like Craigslist and stuff like that. I highly don't recommend that, but if that comes down to it, you guys can totally do that. But a lot of social media websites can help you guys get clients so easily. And if you think about it, I'm sure that a lot of you are only sticking to one, which is probably going to be Twitter or YouTube. Now, you really need to push forward and put your artwork on different kind of websites. Now, I can totally relate to a lot of you teenagers and a lot of you young people, especially only being 18, that posting your work on like Instagram and Facebook is a little scary because you don't want people to make fun of you, you want people to think you're weird and stuff like that. I went all throughout high school being very scared about my YouTube channel, that people thought I was really, really weird. I was doing work for Call of Duty clan, stuff like that. I thought that it was very nerdy and I didn't want people to see me as that. I was always known as the skier kid throughout the whole entire school, and that I was just like the Malone kid. But as soon as I hit a senior, I really didn't care anymore. I had 20,000 subscribers. I got payments, you know, a lot higher than people's checks that they work months for. So yeah, the thing about that is really you need to grow a pair and start posting on all these Facebook, you know, Twitter, all these social media accounts. Now, I'm going to give you guys a really good example on how Facebook could be a major key on getting your first client, especially, and then more clients after that. So you have family, you have friends, you have schoolmates, you have summer camp friends, you have winter camp friends, you have ski group friends. You have all of these different friends on Facebook that know you for who you are. And as soon as you start posting your work onto, let's say, Facebook, your mom's going to share it, your father's going to share it, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, cousin, second cousin, third cousin. Everyone's going to be sharing your work, liking it, commenting on it, letting you know that it's good. It's just as like a friendly family, you know, thing to do. So, excuse me. So that's going to be leaving you guys a lot of exposure is Facebook. Especially with your parents. I'm sure your parents have a job. I'm sure your parents know a lot more people than you do, especially all throughout their years of living and experiences. So definitely a huge thing is having Facebook on. Now, I personally do not use Facebook. I'm in the process of making an artist slash designer strict Facebook. You guys can check it out when I release it. But it's such a big key on getting all of these clients, man. I know I used Facebook once to post, I think it was a poster design for my mom or my dad, and my mom shared it, my brother shared it, and then I ended up getting another client from a kid's parents that I used to ski with. So it's basically a good way to, you know, network yourself. Twitter, of course, is a huge thing. You have all those Call of Duty communities on Twitter. A lot of clans only use Twitter to talk about stuff like that. Esports is huge on Twitter. I don't really think that art like fine art and stuff like that is big on Twitter. However, Instagram, huge. Logo design on Instagram's huge. If you post daily, you're gonna get a lot of following. And then of course a portfolio like Behance is huge because people go on Adobe all the time on Behance just to kind of find work. Your website's gonna be a huge aspect of networking. Now, I don't think a website is definitely needed right away. However, later down the road, I think websiting is just perfect for your brand. Now, with all those social media accounts talked about, you need to be active on every single one of them to get more clients and to get those clients rolling in. So to give you guys an example, if you only post on Twitter, let's just say every day, and you only get one client a month, that's 1 out of like 7 social media platforms that you're posting on and that you could get clients from. So let's say you post on Twitter all your, let's just say social media design, so all your Twitter headers you do for people. Now, you get 1 client a month for $10. So put that into 7 social media platforms, posting daily, you're posting every other day, once a week, stuff like that. And then you get 1 client from each social media platform a month. That's 7 clients a month. 7 times $10 would be $70. So you just made basically 7 times your profit in just under the same time, just posting more on different accounts. But it comes more into higher payments and stuff like that, especially Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, that if you're posting daily, a lot of people are gonna, you know, see you, they're gonna be anticipating your post, they're gonna be doing stuff like that. So that's definitely a thing you wanna be looking out for, is trying to post as frequently as possible on every social media platform. YouTube especially, you're gonna be making YouTube videos. You wanna try to upload at least on a good schedule, whether it be 3 times a week, twice a week, once a week, 5 times a week, every day. You really want to figure out a good schedule that you can let your YouTube people know so they can anticipate your video coming out on that day. If you're a vlogger and you upload your videos every morning, a lot of people anticipate that video being uploaded in the morning. So you have to think about it in that way as well. It's the same thing with designing. If you upload really good tutorials, then people are going to be anticipating your tutorials to come out. And a big example is like this podcast. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be interested in this, and they're going to wait for the next one next Wednesday, and then basically wait for the next one after that, and then one after that. And it's basically be a rippling effect that people are going to be more engaged in your videos, engaged in your work, your social media, stuff like that. So that's basically a huge thing, is trying to put yourself on every social media platform as possible. And regardless if people think you're weird or not, it's basically what you want to do. And then of course you want to think about posting as much as possible. It's a huge deal, especially with art and stuff like that. So now that you have that done, you want to really think about what do you do and what you want to get the clients for. Now, you can't really get a client for logo design if you do social media design. Now think about that. If you're going to be posting social media design, those clients that come to you are going to be for that social media stuff. Now it might think dumb for me to say it to you, but I know so many people that just post Twitter headers, Facebook covers, profile pictures, stuff like that, but they want those logo design clients, they want those high paid jobs, but they're not posting for that kind of stuff. They're not branding themselves as a logo designer, they're branding themselves as a social media designer. Now you really have to think about that as a specific way. You want to brand yourself as a specific designer. Now I brand myself as a brand and visual designer. However, I post mostly I post mostly logo designs. That's because I don't really like showcasing my social media design. I don't think it's as important to myself as a logo design is. I think logos are a lot more important in my eyes. So basically you really have to go through branding yourself as a specific designer. If you're going to be a fine art painter, you don't want to be posting illustrations on Instagram. You want to be posting fine art and stuff like that. You always want to put in the bios and your messages, I'm open for commissions, with your email below. That's basically how people can contact you. Now you really need to focus more on contact as well. How are people going to contact you? They're going to contact you by email, by your website, by Instagram DM, Twitter DM. The list can basically go on. So think about that as well when you're branding yourself, is, you know, how you want to focus yourself. If you're going to be an advertisement designer, you want to brand yourself posting advertisements all the time and stuff like that. So now that you have those two things done, you have your networking done, you have your social media stuff planned out, you basically have yourself branded, and you guys will be posting your social media designs. If you're going to be a social media designer, or logo designs if you're going to be a logo designer, you have all that stuff basically set on lock. You're posting every other day your logo design and stuff like that. You're getting these logo designs and stuff like that. It's basically going to come down to, once you get one, how are more going to come back? Now you want your first client to be your best client. I can guarantee you guys, you always want your first client to be your best, and you might not be the best in designing, but you always want to treat them the best, because you're going to build this reputation up with them. So I do want to talk about how you treat your clients. Is a huge thing. You do not want to be an asshole or annoying to your clients. And what I mean by an asshole and annoying is not talking properly, having a horrible grammar and stuff like that, and just being annoying, like always asking for the payment, not listening to what they want, just doing what you want. You always want to ask the client what they want ahead of time before any payment is discussed. You want to get your client's opinions down and basically get a rough draft of everything that they're going to need. Now a big example is, let's say you're going to be doing a logo design. Now let's just say someone contacts you, be like, oh, I need an E logo, and that's really it. That's all I say. I need an E logo. Now you could be annoying and you could be like, okay, $100, send money here, I'll work on it now. Now that's not a good way to market yourself. You want to be like, okay, can you give me some examples of work that you do? Can you give me some examples of work that you like for that E logo? Some styles that you think really match your company? Can you give me more information about your company and stuff like that? Now this is another video that I'm going to be doing, is talking about how to talk to your clients properly and how to get the specific details down to get a job going. Now for payments, you do not want to ask for it right off the bat. You don't want to get the message saying I need an E logo and then be like, okay, $100, send here. You want to talk to the client, like I've said, you want to get their opinions, and then once you get an establishment of what they want, then you can give them a price based off that. Now that, of course, is going to be another podcast, is talking about pricing, but that's basically how you want to do it. You don't want to just keep asking for money over and over again to a client, or being a bug about it, just because you're going to get paid no matter what in the end if you think about it. And just really, you need to be as courteous and as nice as possible to the client. And that's going to basically lead me into the next thing, is how professional are you with talking to them? Now I know so many people in school that are complete assholes to parents, assholes to coaches, friends, family. You know, it's ridiculous. Some people do not know how to talk properly to people. Now that, I guess that's, you know, a speaking thing that people don't really know how to talk about. But you really want to talk as professional as possible with people. Now the reason behind that is because you just want to have an engagement with someone. You really want to talk, you know, like you want business with them. You don't want to talk like you're some hothead Twitter freak, and whenever they say like, oh, can you maybe change the color to blue, and you send like the letter K. Now I know it's a lot of abbreviations and stuff like that, but you should send the message like okay, comma, you know, will do. You want to give them that kind of professional scene so they know that they want to come back to you, they know that they can trust you, and you really have, you know, a very good self personality and basically how you brand yourself in that aspect. But like I said, guys, you don't want to talk bad to anyone. You don't want to talk like an asshole to anyone or annoying or bugging them over and over again. You're going to talk as professional as possible using correct grammar. And it doesn't mean like correct grammar like capitalizing, periods, exclamation points, commas, hyphens, semicolons, stuff like that. No. You don't need any of that kind of stuff. You just need to talk like you want to do business with someone. You don't want to talk like you talking to some ex-girlfriend from 3 months ago that wants all her stuff back or wants to give you all your stuff back. That's not how you want to talk to anyone. You really want to talk to the person like you want to do business and you want to have a professional background with them. So with that being said, now you have all this stuff coming into line, and then you need to apply an insurance for the client once you finally get your first client. And I mean by this is a lot of people are very scared of paying 100% payment up front. Now the reason behind that is because a lot of designers in this community are scamming people $20, $100, thousands of dollars. Now you do not want to do that. You want to just try to give the client some insurance, and I like to do 50% payment up front and 50% after. If I'm working for an organization, I'll even do 100% after the design is done because I know they can't steal it. I'll watermark it, send it to them, get my payment, and then go on. So that's one way to do it. You guys can create invoices on PayPal. If you guys do not know how to do that, you guys can really check out that on paypal.com. Invoices are huge because you can put in terms and conditions, just like let's say you're going to be doing logo design and you want to do 50% upfront, be like in the terms and conditions, you know, $50 in the quotation, 50% of payment is upfront for the logo design sketches. Once we approve a logo design sketch, there's no more refunds upon that 50%. However, after the remaining 50% is paid for, we will work endless times to create a logo design for the client that he's happy with, and then once the final files are sent over, the client is no longer allowed a refund. So terms and conditions are definitely huge. You really want to put stuff like that, and you really want to just apply the insurance to the client that they're going to be getting work that they like. Now, I don't want people to kind of do these social media designs and just scam people $10 and stuff like that and use templates. I want you guys to create things for people because, like I said, it does come back to you guys. If you're gonna do designs for cheap, it does come back to you. I can guarantee that. When I first started out with clients, I used to do it for Call of Duty Microsoft points. Excuse me, not Call of Duty Microsoft points, Xbox Microsoft points, way back when there was 1600 Microsoft points. And that's what I used to do. I used to offer like Twitch packages, social media design, a logo, all this big stuff for 20 bucks, and I'd have the time of my life, man. I'd get the $20. I would go buy a map pack for Call of Duty. I would save up the points and go buy, you know, Forza, or go buy a video game and stuff like that. So you really want to apply that kind of insurance. You can offer a refund if they do not like any of the concepts that you come up with, but always make a key that if you're going to be making design for them, once the final files are sent over, there are no longer refunds. You definitely want to get screenshots of that just in case they try to dispute a payment on PayPal. But of course, this is talking about getting your first client and not having to deal with them. So with that all being said, I know you guys are still listening on this, the networking, the social media stuff, you know, how you want to treat the clients, what you do, branding yourself, everything like that is coming into a line. You're really starting to focus on yourself. Now it comes with the clients and building up your reputation. Now I want you guys to listen very carefully when I say this. You will not get a lot of clients right away. I'm sorry to like break it to you guys, you're not going to get a lot of clients. You know, it's just how it works. So what you want to do is you want to charge low. You want to build up reputation with the clients, and I can guarantee you that they will spread the word. It's the same thing with Facebook. Your mom will spread the word about you being a designer, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, your grandma, your grandfather. The list can go basically on. So you want to build up that reputation. They'll spread the word to their friends. You know, you'll get a higher following on Twitter. And then of course, you can start charging different prices job by job and stuff like that once you start getting more into it. But of course, you definitely want to build up that reputation with the clients first. You want to treat the first, you know, actually you want to treat all the clients as best as you can. But the first client, especially, you want to treat them as best as you can because they're going to be basically leading you into further more clients. Now, like I said, guys, this is just my opinion and stuff like this. This is only a 20-minute talk about this. I could go on hours about this, but I really want to keep these kind of videos between 20 and an hour long just so you guys can listen to them while you're doing things. So to get a quick little recap of everything, clients are definitely the most important as graphic design. You really want to start showcasing your work properly on every single social media design platform. Being active is of course just as important as using every social media stuff. And then of course you want to brand yourself as what you want to get clients for. For example, if you want to be a logo designer, brand yourself as a logo designer. If you want to be a social media, brand yourself as a social media designer. This means changing your bios to I am a graphic designer, I specialize in logo design, or I am a motion designer, and stuff like that. You want to treat your clients the best you can. You do not want to be an asshole or arrogant to any of them or bugging them about money. You want to treat them as respect as someone would, or as you would want to be treated if you're buying a service from someone else. And of course, how professional are you at talking with them? You want to try to use as best grammar as possible, spelling, not abbreviating a bunch of words. You really want to try to be much as professional just to kind of get that more one-on-one personal level and stuff like that. Giving assurance to the clients to kind of build up that reputation and trust. And then lastly, just doing what the client wants and being faithful to them and being, 100% truthful to them. You'll build up your reputation so much faster with the clients, and they'll spread the word so much easier with them. So that's really my 2 cents about getting your first client. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really hope you guys got your whole entire mind straight with everything like that. If you guys need tips and stuff like that written down, there's going to be a thing in the description below you guys can click on, and you guys can go view my tips written down, and you guys can just basically check out that. It's literally a little written down format. So if you guys did enjoy this designer podcast, my first one, my designer tips, let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys are still listening to this on Spotify or SoundCloud, hop over to my YouTube video, give that a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video on Wednesday. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know, of course, in the comment section below. But of course, it's been Garrett. Next week I'll have a special guest, and I can't wait to see you guys there. Peace out.